Meet us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Google+. Hey guys, this is Phil from undercage.com, and this is Xiaomi Note. So there's Xiaomi Note and Xiaomi Note Pro, and Note Pro is known for its favorite processor, Snapdragon 810, and the 4GB of RAM, and Xiaomi Note is more to the downside of the specs wise. It's got a Snapdragon 801 quad-core processor and 3GB of RAM and 32GB of storage on this particular model. Xiaomi has always been known for its prices and comparatively decent phone for its prices, but it was never known for its quality exceptionally. But now the Xiaomi Note takes on a different approach. Now it's a lot more expensive than the previous ones. Now this is retailing at $400. If you consider taxes and the shippings, it's going to be slightly more expensive than that. But they have taken on that extraordinary quality that they can prove that they can make a quality phone, and they have done it right. Let's dive right into it. It's got a 4-megapixel ultra-pixel front-facing camera, receiver, and the proximity sensor, the Xiaomi logo over there. That's kind of cute that they put it on the left-hand side of the phone, not on the center like many of the manufacturers do. And a 5.7 inches of a IPS display. It's a Full HD. Xiaomi Note Pro has a QHD display, but the Xiaomi Note remains on the Full HD display. Multitasking, home and the back key, you can change the multitasking key to the menu key if you're willing to. And the volume rocker, power key, the earphone jack, secondary microphone, the SIM card tray, the dual SIM card tray, and the micro USB port, and the speaker grills are there. And the back has a curved glass. That's very impressive. They probably curved the back of the phone, not the front, because only LG and Samsung can produce the curved displays. So that's probably what they have done here, but it looks pretty nice and it feels really nice when you're holding it in your hands too. There's a Xiaomi logo and the 13-megapixel camera with the dual LED flash there, and the front and back are both covered with the tempered glasses. It feels really nice when you're holding it in your hands, and the build quality is actually exceptional. Maybe because I only seen the cheaper devices from Xiaomi like the Redmi or the Redmi Note. This feels somehow unlike Xiaomi, because this is not what I expect from Xiaomi, and they have done a very good job at building their phone. Even when you compare with the Galaxy Note 4, the build quality is nothing. There's nothing that you want to point out from the build quality. It's built very, very well. Although it does show the mixture of the phones here and there, you can't really find originalities over here. The phone itself, however, is built very well. Aside from those things, let's dive right into the software. It's got a Xiaomi MIUI 6, and the MIUI was never my favorite. Back in the days with the Froyo or the Gingerbread, it was a better Fork OS because it had a better interface, better looking aesthetics, and it was just simpler in every sense. But ever since the ice cream sandwich, since the Android ever cared about their design of the interfaces, MIUI never went above the stock Android. I've always preferred stock or even Samsung modified interfaces over the MIUI. MIUI was just too heavy, too slow, and too sluggish for most of the times. The MIUI 6 was the largest update ever since, and it deals with a lot of things. The first that you can notice is that the whole interface is a lot cleaner and the icons are a lot better now. Although it still remains on the Android 4.4.4, while a lot of devices are running Android Lollipop, we hope Xiaomi is going to update that soon. But aside from that, everything is just trimmed down and the apps look just simply beautiful. Although we can see that it has some takes from the other Fork OSs or the iOS, it is a lot better MIUI than ever before. So this is the home launcher, and this is never my favorite. It takes the hint from the iOS, and it doesn't have the app drawer. The apps are just listed on the home screen, and you can just move around the apps, but that's pretty much what you can do. You cannot order them in alphabetical orders, and that's a big minus for me. You can tap and hold on the menu key to move apps or add widgets or change wallpapers, of course, or to change the effects when you're moving through the home screens, but that's pretty much what you can do. And the home screen is never, this home launcher is never the most efficient one, so I ended up installing another launcher. I usually do that with the Nova launcher, but that's pretty much it. Aside from the launcher itself, a lot of the built-in apps like the calendar or the notes over here are very well designed and very clean and easy to use, and we were very happy to be using the built-in Xiaomi apps. Google Play Store is separately installable. If you're getting your device from the mainland China, you might want to do that because they don't support Google Play and they're not installed on it by default. The specs wise is where it gets a bit boring. It's got a Snapdragon 1 quad-core processor and 3 GB of RAM and 32 GB of storage. Although this is not necessarily outdated, this is not a top-notch specs. It does its job, and it does its job very well. When we go to the launchers to get to the web pages, the built-in browser is pretty good too, and LTE speed, it gets a snappy access to the internet, and the overall performances were better than we thought. Talking about the performances, if you want to take care of the battery, you can go to the battery and make it into the performance mode or the balance mode. You can choose between them, and if you go to power mode, there is a lot of settings that you can change. You can even build your own profile if you want to kill some apps after the screen is turned off to conserve the battery or the memory usage. The battery itself is not very long. Its screen on time will remain from 3 hours and 20 minutes to about 4 hours. This not necessarily good, not necessarily bad in the same time. We were not using any power saving technologies, so if you use some of them that came with the phone, you might be able to get a better screen on time than we did. The one thing that we always is skeptical or disappointed with the Chinese phones is camera or this audio, those multimedia functions. And the Xiaomi Note seems to do pretty good job with the camera. The 13 megapixel dual flash enabled camera on the back takes a decent photo. It's not exactly the best photo snapper in the market, but the photos and the results are quite acceptable. The audio is something that I was very surprised at. The Chinese phone's audio was always a letdown for me, but this guy has a rich audio settings, and the audio settings actually do work. And these audio settings here that you can define your earphone types, they're not exactly good. But the equalizers or the hi-fi audio mode over here does give you a lot better clarity, or the bass if you want it to be. The sound was very surprising, although the speaker over here is not as good as the iPhones or the Galaxy S6s, but the overall audio quality was a lot better than we thought. That was very surprising, and the Xiaomi apparently has done a very great job. So if you want to take a look at this as the phone itself without any other factors included, like the prices or the brand name or the backdoor problems that were speculated, the phone itself, the Xiaomi Note itself, is a very well built phone. It feels really nice. The build quality is very good. Performance is nice, and the camera and audio was exceptional considering it's a Chinese phone, because they're not usually good with it. But the price is some matter. It's really hard to say that Xiaomi has a price issue, but the Xiaomi Note, now retailing at $400, is never a cheap phone. And for the same price, you can get a little slightly outdated Samsung or the LG or an iPhone for that, even for that matter. So we're not really sure if you want to get a Xiaomi for $400 now that it's not exactly amazing in the specs, but the phone itself, aside from the prices, are built very well. I've been always saying that Chinese phones are getting better and better, and there will be less reasons for you to get a Samsung or LG or an iPhone. But Xiaomi Note has proven it perfectly that Chinese phones are now doing so good that is as good as a Samsung or an iPhone. So that was Xiaomi Note. We were genuinely surprised by how good it was and how well built it was. So we hope you get your hands on it too. It's a very well built device, especially that curved glass on the back, and the overall feelings are very nice. So that was Xiaomi Note, Xiaomi Note, and stay tuned for other reviews. Thanks. Bye.